Hello and welcome to Whiskey Whims with me, Stuart. Today I want to go through a couple of bottles that I have recently purchased as well as received, as it was my birthday just a couple of weeks ago. You might hear a little squeaking, and I've tried, but the dog is rather hyper and I can't seem to tire him out. So you might hear him squeaking his dog toy now and then throughout this video. If you enjoy this video, please do subscribe. Hit the like button. If you don't like it, hit the dislike button. If you've got any feedback, please do leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear it and I'll definitely reply. So I'll start with Campbeltown. We visited Campbeltown on my first weekend home, and that was kind of for my birthday weekend. My girlfriend paid for us to go to Campbeltown, and we done Springbank Distillery as well as Caden Head warehouse tasting, which is probably one of the best experiences, like whiskey experiences, I've actually ever done. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm so happy that she got me the Campbeltown trip away. So I'll start with what I bought first from Campbeltown, which was this lovely Kilkerran 15-year-old finished in, done in rum casks or a rum barrel. 53.2%, 15 years old, and it was bottled to kind of celebrate the anniversary of 15 years of Kilkerran at Glengyle, or the opening of Glengyle Distillery, way back in 2004. So I've got the other Kilkerran 15-year-old, which is the Campbeltown Malts Festival release, which was done in bourbon. So it'd be good to see the similarities or differences between these two bottles of Kilkerran. And as you know, I'm quite excited to see where Kilkerran are going, especially with all their young releases being so good and so tasty. So it's quite exciting, quite eager to see how their older whiskey are going to turn out. So hopefully I'll get this cracked open soon and let you know how that is. The next bottle from Campbeltown was from the Caden Head warehouse tasting itself. A Bender End 23-year-old, distilled in 1995, hogshead sherry and 53.5% ABV. Straight out of the cask, we tried this at the tasting and it was my favourite out of however many we had. A couple of highlights from that warehouse tasting were a Tormore 30-year-old, an Edrington blend, I believe, which had Highland Park, Macallan, Tom and Toole and Invergordon, and that was 38-year-old, and also a surprising Paul John's 9-year-old, which I believe is from India. And that was kind of surprising because he didn't tell us what it was, and we all assumed it was either maybe an Islay or maybe something from Campbeltown that had peat in it, but it was actually the Paul John's 9-year-old cask strength. Donald was our kind of warehouse tasting guide, if you like, and he really made it a lot better as well. He's quite knowledgeable, he's quite passionate about Caden Head. I just said Caden Head, some people tell me that's very wrong. So Caden Head, yeah, he was really experienced, and he made it a lot more enjoyable, especially when he had a few with us. I don't believe he was supposed to be working that day, but he came in just to do the tasting, so that was great. And the Bender End 23-year-old was definitely my favourite. I can't wait to open it. As you can see, the seal's still on, just waiting for a couple more bottles to be killed off before I can open this one. The next Campbeltown associated thing was the Caden Head warehouse, or the Caden Head membership, which I believe, I can't remember what to call it now, but similar to the Springbank one that I've also got. There were a couple of differences in the package itself, but I'll show you what we got. So it just comes in a no brand box, nothing out of the ordinary. £50 for this membership. I believe you get 2 Caden Head tastings a year, so we used that when we were at in Campbeltown. So her dad and myself went on the tasting, and instead of paying £35 each, it was technically £25 each because of the membership. So in this box, I've already opened it, I've already wrote on the notepad and played with everything. You get a pen, which is I've used on the notepad that you get as well, and the pen just says Caden Head's Club on it. and it's also a really good pen. You get a little card which is not as good as the Springbank card, because the Springbank card is like an actual wallet card, whereas this is just a kind of flimsy bit of cardboard, but still nice touch. I suppose got your membership on there and your name. This notepad, which is a really nice feeling notepad. I don't know what it's maybe faux leather or something, but it's got a nice feel to it. It's just got Cadenhead's Club on the front, a little elastic strap to keep it all together, and also an elastic strap for your pen, and I don't know what that material would be, ribbon or velvet, but it's not velvet, but bookmark as well. So notepad, pen, membership card, and the cherry on top is the Cadenhead t-shirt or polo shirt. It's just got Cadenhead's Club and the logo on the front. It's green, not my favourite colour, but I might wear that next time I go to Campbeltown. And a little variation from the Springbank. The Springbank one, I believe you got the card, the t-shirt, a glass and a little dram. So a little variation, and I've got to say the Cadenhead's Club one, although I got the whiskey and the Springbank one, I think the notepad's a nice touch. I've never really had like a notepad for writing my whiskey notes down, and I always feel like that's where I fall down sometimes, because I go to tastings or whatever, and I remember the whiskey, I remember whether I liked it or disliked it, but I can't remember the actual tasting notes for it, so I might start taking that to things. Look like a right geek, but there you go. So yeah, I was quite chuffed with that membership package. After we were at Campbeltown, after the weekend, it was my actual birthday, which was on the Monday, and I received 4 whiskies for my birthday. So those 4 were Jura Journey, which came from my brother, Old Pulteney 12-year-old, my other brother visited the distillery, he was on the North Coast 500, and I've got to say Old Pulteney, this is the worst designed bottle and bag, because you try and grab it out and you end up grabbing the lid. Well, I suppose the lid does hold on there pretty well, but I wouldn't like to chance it. So he got that from the distillery, the 12-year-old new bottling, and I've got the old bottle, that's still not opened, and I believe Whisky Trials Neil, he done a comparison of the two, because I think he's quite a big fan of the Old Pulteney old bottling, the 12-year-old. So I think I'll try and do a comparison of the two as well, and try and do it blind. I'll link his video in the description, because it was quite an interesting video, and he done it blind as well, so I might get on that at some point. Another whiskey was the Glenalachie 8-year-old, I believe it's done in rye, or Coville rye, quarter cask wood finish, and a 2006, I think it's French white oak, or just French oak finish, Tomatin, I believe it's 12-year-old, and these both came from my girlfriend's dad. So I've not opened the Old Pulteney 12 yet, as I said. The Jura Journey, I've not really been into Jura, I'm not the biggest fan of Jura, but this might change my mind, I'm not sure. Just a non-age statement, but it'll be good to see what that's like. The Glenalachie, only recently, I think it was a couple of nights ago, or maybe, yeah, 2 nights ago, we opened that. Really unique in a sense. I don't think I've ever had something finished with Coville rye. I think Billy Walker is doing a real good job. It seems everywhere he goes he does really good things, and Glenalachie is no exception. He seems to be really pushing them quite well. So this was a nice whiskey, and I'll definitely be doing a review of that. It was beautiful. And then the Tomatin 2006 French oak. So recently, obviously if you follow me on Instagram you'll know, but I was at the Whisky Social in Larbert and Falkirk at the Dobie Hall, and Tomatin were there, one of their ambassadors were there, and they had this French oak and also their 30-year-old. The first one I wanted to try was the French oak because I had it. It'd be good to know what it was like before I opened it. so it's to see if I was going to enjoy it or not. Luckily, there's something real unique about this whisky. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's something to do with the French oak, if I've ever had French oak whiskies before, but there is something, there's a flavour profile in there that I was really struggling to pick up. It was quite enticing, it was lovely, it was sweet, quite fragrant, but I couldn't actually pick out what it was, so I'd love to open this, spend more time with it in the glass, just to try and kind of pinpoint what that was. We also had the 30-year-old, as I said, and to be honest, the 30-year-old was beautiful. You could tell it was a luxurious whisky, an old whisky. It was fantastic, but something about this really did pull me in for more. There was something that was saying, just keep drinking me, drink more. So for that, I actually preferred this over the 30, which is, I kind of surprised myself there. Carrying on from the whisky social theme, this event in Falkirk, there were many stalls. I think there were, let me just see, there's a booklet here, 25 stalls, all different ones. So there was Gordon MacPhail, Wolfburn, Loch Lomond, Springbank, which was just Kilkerran, Murray McDavid, Reams Vintage Malts, specialty brands, which were things like, I believe there was the Port of Skeggs and is it Mitchers? Something like that. I think it's Mitchers. Rosebank were there, Eden Mill, Lindors Abbey, Adelphi, Glenturret, Tomatin, Indie Brands, which I believe was Arran, Dramfine Tours, Fraser's of Scotland, White Mackay, John Krabby, Uncle Nearest, Spade, Douglas Lang, Alder, Distill, and the Good Spirits Company, who were selling the bottles. And also there was water stations there as well, but no one wants to talk about the water stations. The highlights from that, I think we had about 26 whiskies or something. Very small measures though, so it wasn't like we got too drunk. But the highlights for me were the Isle of Arran, the Arran Coty Roti finish. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I've got that bottle, so I wanted to try it, see what that was like, and yep, I'm going to be in for a treat. It's lovely. The Lindors Abbey Aquavitae was, I think they're not allowed to call it a whiskey. I think they're maybe aiming for a kind of whiskey, but to me it was more of a gin. He gave us it with I think it was maybe ginger ale or something and a little garnish. It was really surprising, and I should have probably got a bottle because I've started to stray away from gin a little bit, but this was like a really refreshing gin, almost whiskey-esque in nature, but yeah, it tasted like a gin. Really good stuff, enjoyed that. Murray McDavid Peakside 5-year-old, and that'll lead us on to my next bottle. Elements of Isla Peat Full Proof. That was really nice. I loved the percentage in that. I think it was 56 odd percent. Mitchers Rye, I had their bourbon, and to be honest, that was, I tried bourbon and I just couldn't get into it. But I didn't stay at that stall very long. The guy wasn't very welcoming, should I say. He kind of sat on his phone quite a lot, which was, you're a brand ambassador, you shouldn't be doing that. But anyway, the Tomatin 2006 French Oak, the Tomatin 30-year-old, and the Kingsbarn Dream to Jam. I should have bought a bottle of that as well, but like low on money and whiskey's going to bankrupt me. But yeah, the Murray McDavid 5-year-old Peakside was the whiskey that I purchased. So it came in a nice little carry bag, similar to the old Pulteney. And I was speaking to, I believe his name is Paul, for a good half hour, I believe, about Murray McDavid, because it's a brand that I've not really explored. The Scottish Gantry, I've got a tasting with them in a couple of weeks. If you're in Stirling or if you're anywhere there, you should get through to that. I'll link a link to their website, because Murray McDavid's something that I'm trying to get into more. I've had a Glen Scotia 24-year-old, and that was absolutely stunning. I'm trying to get a hold of that bottle. And then I had this Peakside. It says blend. I believe it's a certain Speyside that's dabbled with peat, and they add a teaspoon of something else so that they have to legally call it blend. Bourbon Hogshead, finished with a first fill Madeira Barrique, 46%, which is good. Non-chill filter, brilliant, no added colouring, and like I said, it's 5-year-old. When I initially went up to the stand, for some reason, the stand was right next to the Kilkerran, and at the Kilkerran we had the new 8-year-old that's about to come in I think November, the cask strength, and the Kilkerran heavily peated batch number 2, which is due out in September. So we tried them, both young drams. The Kilkerran obviously about 3.5 years old, and I love the batch 2 as well, just as good as the batch 1. So for some reason I was drawn to Paul and I said, give me your youngest whiskey. And he was quite surprised, because usually people ask for, give me your oldest whiskey. But because I was next to the Kilkerran and the Kilkerran was fresh in my head, I kind of said, I want your youngest one. And it was this. We ended up trying I tried a Murray McDavid, I believe it was Alt Abain, if that's how you pronounce it, Alt Abain. I was struggling with that. 1995 20-year-old, and this trumped that in my eyes. I preferred this was a lot better. I also found myself drawn to peat whiskies throughout this tasting for some reason. I had the Ben Romack peat smoke, I think it's called. For some reason I was having a lot of peat that day. But yeah, this Murray McDavid for a 5-year-old, it kind of blew my socks off, and I'm going to open it as I'm away at work tomorrow, so I won't be able to open it for the next 2 weeks, but as soon as I get home I'll probably open this one, because it's fresh in my mind and it was definitely one of my favourites. We also managed to walk away with a little Fetter Cairn glass. I've never had a glass like this before, so it kind of tempted me. What does it say? Science built a better glass. Low shape profile without alcohol burn. Delivers more flavourful aroma to the nose. Holding palm to warm. Yeah, good. Alright. At neck to cool. Alright, I never thought about that. At neck to cool. Best fill, 1.5 ounces. Swirl, close mouth and inhale through nose. That's quite a nice detailed way to drink. I suppose that's good for new people. And 1 large surface area, more aromas to appreciate. 2 swirl, curved sides enhanced evaporation and locked aromas. Free alcohol burn, flows over the rim away from the nose. 4 sweet spot, intense aroma and centre at rim level. Yeah, it's quite nice that they put that in with the glass. That's quite interesting. The Fetter Cairn, I have had the 12-year-old, which my girlfriend's dad gave me, and he's right into Fetter Cairn at the moment. They also had the 28-year-old, and I went for that straight away because I'd already had the 12. For me, the 28-year-old was nice. You could tell it was an older whiskey. You could tell there was something special in the palate and the nose, but somehow the finish was quite dull, quite weak. And I'm not sure if that's because I was hitting kind of peated whiskies that day, or kind of more cask strength and higher ABV whiskies that day. So it might have ruined the Fetter Cairn 28 for me, but I believe it's about £400 for that Fetter Cairn. Where is it? White Mackay. Yeah, £470 for the 28-year-old. And the Tomatin 30-year-old was 100% better, and it's £175 cheaper. So I don't know where they're getting that price from, really. But I mean, it was a nice whiskey, but not that price range. The 30-year-old Tomatin definitely better. So, blathered on about all the stuff I've got. I'm very lucky, definitely for my birthday, very grateful for all the gifts, and so happy that my girlfriend took us away to Campbeltown. If you've got any whiskies that you've recently purchased or recently acquired, please let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on them. Just write it in the comments, I'll let you know if I've had them or not. Once again, if you've enjoyed the video, please subscribe, hit the like button, and that's pretty much it. That's all I've got. Well, I was going to say that's all I've got to say, but I've got one last little I don't know what to call this, a pewter, or I'm not sure, is it a pewter you'd call it? Anyway, this is a sterling silver little barrel that my papa was cleaning out his loft, his moving house, and he gave me this pure silver, and it's a 25mm measure. It's got all the stamps and that on it. But yeah, I think that's quite a little quirky thing, quite cool. It's quite weighty, quite hefty. I just think it would be cool to have on the shelf, a nice little heirloom. But yeah, that was the last thing. So thanks for watching. I've been Stuart. This has been Whiskey Whims. I'll see you later.